You know what time of the month it is. It is time to talk about all the books that I acquired in November, either through pre-orders, books that I purchased on my own, or books from book boxes. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today, let's talk about all the books that I acquired in November. Before we talk about those, always make sure that you like and subscribe. It really helps my channel out. I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, so help me to get there if you could. Also, make sure you check my description box for all of my links to my socials, my Instagram, my Goodreads, Amazon wishlist, Pango Books account, and also my Bookish Box Ambassador link, where you get 10% off the entire store using my link. So I acquired quite a bit of books in November. I don't even know how, because I really didn't purchase anything. I was too busy doing work and coming home and sleeping. I was so exhausted the entire month. Acquired a lot of books nonetheless. So I did find out that the Last Chapter Bookshop did a special edition of my favorite duet, Losers Part 1 and Part 2 by Harley LaRue. You guys, I absolutely love this design of them, and it did come with a bookmark. And I don't think it is digitally signed by Harley LaRue. I really love this paperback edition. And I really love how it says one night was supposed to be enough. We know one night is just never enough in these books. And then Part 2, I love this cover that has everybody on it. And then I love the car and how it signifies drag racing, which of course if you've read the book you would know. But just seeing these books together are just beautiful, and I had to hunt them down because I didn't know that they came out in August, and now I have a complete set again. I think this is my third possible copy of the Losers Duet, and I will get every single one of these. I then also purchased at the very beginning of the month, maybe the end of October, the entire Hollow Boys series, and the first one is The Lies, and it's all by Monty J. I heard a lot of good things about these. The second book is The Truths. The third book is The Blood, and then of course book 4 I think is the same duet of the same person, because it says The Blood We Crave, which, okay, that's interesting. The last one is The Oath, and I think this is a series of interconnected standalones. I don't think they are Why Choose, that they are about different couples within this world. That's about all that I know. I just know that Larry from Larry Reads was going on and on about this series, so I ended up picking up a whole set. The next one is the Halloween omnibus of The Vicious Lost Boys by Nikki St. Crow, which came in this beautiful slipcase. And then the cover of it, how beautiful is that? And it has emerald shiny edges. And then the back. And the back of it says, "The Never King and the Lost Boys aren't willing to let me go." And then, of course, on the inside, beautiful foiling on the end pages. And then the naked hardcover is stunning as well. And then you also have a reverse dust jacket, which I will show you better in a moment. But you can flip it around and you can have it be just the black and silver foiling. Or I like the green one. I just think the green one suits it so good. The next was the pre-order of Shatter Me, the deluxe edition. It has these edges that says, "I spent my life folded between the pages of books." So I really wanted to pick it up. However, have I read this? No, I have not. But the hard case has some foiling on it, and it says, I spent my life folded between the pages of books. So I really need to get to this. I own like multiple copies of this series, and I still have yet to read it. My book of the month pick for November was The Road of Bones by Demi Winters, which is the Ashen series book 1. I have heard that this is like a Viking fantasy romance, but I've also heard that even though it is compared to a Viking-esque fantasy romance, that there really isn't a lot of Viking parts in it. They're on this like road, I guess, and trying to like survive mercenaries. It says, in this epic and immersive Viking-inspired romantic fantasy, a woman fleeing a ruthless assassin accidentally joins forces with a group of mercenaries and must use her cunning to escape with her life and her heart intact. So I'm excited. I'm really in my Viking era, so I really want to read all of the Viking romance that I possibly can. Leave me comments below if there are any that I should be checking out as well. And then Fairy Loot's Romantasy box for October was Dark Dalliance. I will be selling this because I didn't like the story at all. It does come with an author letter with some art on there, but it is The Coven by Harper L. Woods. I think this is a very beautiful edition. Very, very beautiful. It just didn't hit for me, honestly. The end pages are gorgeous, and it is signed by the author. And then the hardcover is where it's at, honestly. And then it has a reverse dust jacket, which is kind of a different colorway than what the original book has. But this book is supposed to be a dark fantasy romance, and I read the duet, which is The Coven and the Cursed. I really, really, really loved The Coven, but The Cursed lost me. It truly did. And I don't know, maybe it was because it's a witch's story, maybe because it shouldn't have been a duet, maybe just a standalone would have been fine, but I will be selling my copy, sadly. And then the Fairy Loot YA pick for the month of October was Air by Saba Tahir, which this is a beautiful edition. However, I am not probably going to be reading this. I'm going to hold on to it just in case, but I just don't think that I'm going to read this book because I do think it is a spinoff from An Ember in the Ashes, and I just never read An Ember in the Ashes, so I wouldn't even understand what was going on. But this is a beautiful edition, you guys. Absolutely stunning. But again, I am going to hold on to it until I figure out if I am going to go ahead and read An Ember in the Ashes and then continue on. If not, you'll see this up on my Pango Books account. My Fairy Loot October adult box, which is Forbidden Spells. I really love the card for this. I will be selling it though because it's just a cozy fantasy, and I have really learned this year that cozy anything is not my vibe, which is okay. This is Sorcery and Small Magics by Maiga Ducey. It's a beautiful cover. It gives you those cottagecore vibes. Absolutely beautiful. It's just not my vibe. And then the end paper artwork is, again, stunning. It does have a bound-in letter from the author. The hardcover is all around with, I think, a different colorway with the original cover. Again, I know that this is a cozy fantasy. Again, not my vibe. And it should go to someone who really enjoys those types of books. So look out for this one as well. I went ahead and jumped on the hype train and picked up a copy of Metal Slinger by Rachel Schneider. I have heard so many people say that they absolutely love this book, and then I've heard a few say that they didn't like it at all. So I'm on the hype train. I know that it deals with two different races of people. I believe one is kind of isolated and kept away, and they can only come to shore once a year to restock on food and items that they would need to survive. And whenever our girl does come up on shore, things happen. All of a sudden she is wrapped up in this rebellion that is going on, and there is a romance in here. I have been spoiled for some plot in here, and I'm just like, how do we get there? So I don't think it spoiled it for me, but it would spoil it for some people, so I'm not going to do that to you, but I'm ready to dive in. And then whenever one of my favorite indie authors, Luna Laurier, she had her beautiful baby a few months ago and then had some complications afterwards. So she had to have some extended stay at the hospital and treatments and stuff. So she was trying to raise money for her medical bills. And I, in an auction, won one of the only two arcs of the original of Shadow and Moonlight before she reworked it. So I have the arc. She's the only other one that has one. So I am so excited that I won this. And whenever she sent it to me, I did not expect her to write me a note in here. She did sign it, and she left me a little note as well. I didn't expect that, and I am going to absolutely cherish this ARC copy. I love Luna Laurier. I love a lot of indie authors because they will talk to you. Don't be scared to reach out to them. They love to talk about their books. They love to talk to their fans. And Luna Laurier is so sweet. I highly suggest checking out her series if you like a dark paranormal romance. I am eating this whole series up. And then my probably smut for October came in this cute little package. It's like Christmas every month, and you get to unwrap it. I absolutely love the color designs and all of the packaging that they do, but you also get a pack of stickers that correlate to the book of the month, and then you get a little annotation key and kit, and then this one serves as a bookmark as well, and it says a reader lives 1,000 lives. And then you also get some book review pages for your book journal that you get whenever you first sign up as a subscriber. And then the book is a 2-book pack. It's an omnibus, and it is Pack Darling, The Complete Duology by Lola Rock. This is a beautiful pink edition, and I have a feeling that this is a wolf shifter romance, which you guys know how I feel about wolf shifter romances. They are just not me. They're not my jam. I've been Team Edward my entire life. I love vampires instead of werewolves, and so I will give this a try, but I may not end up keeping it. And then again, in that auction for Luna Laurier's medical bills, I ended up winning Living Legend by Ali Shantae. This is a beautiful edition. I love it so much. And then also it came with some artwork, and I think she signed it. She did. So there is the author's signature. I don't know anything about this. I know that I think it deals with an angel and a demon possibly, but it says it's actually pretty simple, letting someone be exactly who they are despite everyone else. I feel like this gives me so many good vibes, and I've heard that this book possibly could be in a book box at the beginning of next year, so we'll see. And then my pre-order for the third and final book in this trilogy that I've only read the first book of is The Shadows Rule Us All by Abigail Owen. This is the, like I said, third and final book in, what is the series called? The Dominion series. I remember that this is about two sisters. One is the queen or the heir to the throne. The other one is kind of like the spare, where she will kind of step in for her sister if the situations arise that possibly there could be an assassination, so she's kind of just a throwaway. She ends up falling in love with someone who can control the shadows, and the story goes from there. I really loved book 1. I need to continue on because book 3 is out and I need to finish this series. My pre-order for one of my 5-star reads of the year, one of my favorite fantasy romances, is Under the Oak Tree by Suji Kim. This is the novel edition, and it is stunning. It says, "The first moment I saw you, I knew you would ruin me." This is such a beautiful fantasy romance. It is very character driven, not plot driven, because you are following both of these characters. It's kind of like how they navigate this arranged marriage and how they fall in love with each other. But there's a lot of miscommunication in here. So if that is not your thing, you may not like this book. But it is good, and it is spicy. I do know that about this book. It is so spicy, but it is so good. And I don't know why I do this to myself. I pre-ordered another book in a series because they're coming out with these like sprayed edges special editions. And I don't even know if I like the author's writing because I've only tried out one of her series and I didn't like it. But here we are. This is Onyx by Jennifer L. Armentrout. They are coming out with these beautiful sprayed edges. And Lux has already came out, Onyx has, and then I think they are going to be coming out with the others in the series over time. However, Bookish Box just picked up the rights to do a special edition of the Lux series, and I purchased a copy of that. Please tell me what is wrong with me. I have never read this series. Why am I buying beautiful editions of books that I haven't read? And then a Fabled box came in, and I canceled my Fabled box, I think, back in May, but I got this one and I think another one as well. This one says May has finally arrived, so this is May's box, I guess. And I used to get the Twilight and the Moonlight, so it was the fantasy romance and the paranormal romance books, I think. But this one, I think, is the fantasy romance, the Twilight one. And it is Stars Ascending by Heather Smith. I have never heard of this book, so I'm intrigued to go into it. But the end pages are beautiful. I really like that. And then, of course, the naked hardcover is just like the cover of everything. But I don't know anything about this book, and I'm really intrigued. It says, facing threats against her life, a prophecy, and a world she never knew existed, she wonders who she can trust, including herself. So I'm guessing that this might be a portal fantasy, and she might be kind of like the long lost heir, is what I'm kind of vibing. But I love the artwork and I love the vibes of this cover. And then I think the paranormal romance possibly is Demons and Roses by Becca Westrup, which looks like it's the Eternal Brides series. This is one reason why I quit being a Fabled subscriber, because all the books kind of look the same, just different colorways. And I love the artwork, don't get me wrong. I love the artwork on every single one of them, but I want something different. You know, I want them to have different vibes and be unique. But I just ended up canceling it, and then I guess they've been backlogged. So that's why I'm getting all of these books. It is signed by the author. And then the naked hardcover is just a bunch of roses. I think it's a stunning edition. It's just not my cup of tea if I get every book kind of looking the same. It says, "Look at the bouquet of flesh I've gathered for you, my bride. We will feed on their rotten souls together." What kind of book is this? Ooh, okay. I'm intrigued. I then ended up getting from Lit Haven. They had kind of an overstock sale. So I got Nocticadia by Carrie Lake. This is a beautiful edition, and I got to pick if I wanted the imperfect or perfect editions or the purple sprayed edges or the black ones. And I picked the purple because I think it's just beautiful. And I haven't read this, but I have read the Nightshade duology. I'm finishing up Infernium right now. It is so good. I love her writing, and I love the gothic vibes that you get. It is digitally sprayed with an author letter. I think that's beautiful. This hardcover is kind of like a matte finish. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And then you have reverse dust jacket art, and it says, "You're the fever in my veins, an incurable madness I can't shake." I cannot wait to get to this book. I think it's dark academia, like student teacher romance. I'm excited, and it did come with a bunch of goodies, some that I cannot show you because they are not safe. But there is one that I can show you. Isn't that beautiful? Those vibes, I'm telling you. The other two are some pretty spicy artworks that I'm not going to show on YouTube. I then picked up a traditionally published version of this book that I already have the indie copy of, but I wanted the UK edition because it had a different colorway and kind of a different design on the front, and I really, really liked it. And that is Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. The US edition is green with like gold dragons and stuff all over it. I like the purple. I don't know why, but I'm ready to get into this. If you watched my December TBR, you would know that I'm desperate to get to that indie copy of it. So I have my traditionally published version for whenever I am done with that one. And then my pre-order from Butterfly Book Box came in of this duology from one of my favorite authors. And it came with this artwork and a letter. And the duology is When Wishes Bleed by Casey L. Bond. This is a beautiful edition. I really, really love it. One prince, one witch, one fate. The artwork is absolutely beautiful. And of course the naked hardcover. And it does continue on to the back. So that is book one, which I do own the indie version somewhere that I cannot reach right now. And then also The Omen of Stones, and this is book 2 in that duology. Spirit and Stone, Song and Sky, Fate and Future all align. I really, really love this artwork on here. It's really beautiful. So you have the end paper artwork and the naked hardcover, and then the back of it continues that picture from the art card. So I am really happy that I got both of these, and they are really stunning together. You can either face them this way or you can do the end papers. Either way, stunning duology. And then my pre-order for The Half King by Melissa Landers, it came in. It's just the standard copy, and I really, really love it. I have heard some mixed things about this, so I have to go in with knowing that because I don't want to have my expectations set too high, but I'm really desperate to get to this one. These next two books are from Fabled. I don't know what month, but I guess it was sometime in the beginning of the year. I don't know which one is the Fabled or the Twilight and the Moonlight edition, so we'll just go through them. But you have To Bleed a Kingdom by Ella Dawes, and this is the Bleeding Realms series. Really beautiful colorway on this, and it says, creatures like me aren't meant to be caged, only unleashed. The end paper artwork is really shiny, and then the naked hardcover is stunning as well. I do not know what this is about. I don't even know what month it came from, but I guess I'll have to check it out and see if I want to keep it. And then the next one is Viciously Yours by Jamie Applegate Hunter, which I guess is Fae Kings of Eden series. Really beautiful edition. It says, I am not good. My soul is not beautiful or bright or even a shade of gray. It is an unforgiving inferno, and if our people refuse to accept you as their queen, they will burn their way into the afterlife. Okay, we have Burn the World for You trope. I really like that. And then here is the end paper, or the naked hardcover, and it is signed by the author. So I'm really excited to get to this one. I have heard really good things about it. I had completely forgot that I had pre-ordered these from Fairy Loot. So whenever I got them in the mail, I was like, oh, I'm so glad that Past Me got these. And that is The Serpent and the Wings of Night duology by Carissa Broadbent. I really love this edition. I really, really do. I love the color. I love the feeling of it. The artwork is really gorgeous. Here's the end papers. And then the naked hardcover. And of course, the back. I think Fairy Loot really outdid themselves on these. And then, of course, it is signed by the author. And then the second book in that duology, which is The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, it just continues on with that colorway. And again, the artwork is beautiful. You have the end paper, and then it is signed by the author. Can you see that? There we go. It had a hard time focusing. And then you have the naked hardcover, which does continue on to the back. So I really think that Fairy Loot did an amazing job with this duology, and I cannot wait to get the next duology, the Shadowborn duology, because of course I'm sure it'll be a different colorway, but they'll look beautiful together. One of my favorite book boxes in November came out with this duology, and I think it is gorgeous. And that is Eternal Embers. And of course, it's the Tilly Coles duology. Oh, you guys, wait till you see. Wait till you see. They are naked hardcovers, which I love. You have 1,000 Boy Kisses. Oh my goodness. It is so beautiful. And I love every single thing about it. And it is signed by Tilly Cole. And on the back, it's even more stunning. This book shattered my soul. And I need to read the second book in this duology because it's even, I think, more beautiful. And this is 1,000 Broken Pieces. Look at that. I think the colors and everything, just the Polaroids and all the details is just so amazing. And it is signed by Tilly Cole. And then on the back, it's the same end paper. But this is such good quality, and I think that Eternal Embers did a fabulous job on this. My September page and wick came in, and it was Trial by Fire. You get a candle with your book, and this one is Harathin, A Blazing Wildfire. It smells so good. And the book is Flame and Sparrow by S.M. Gaither. I don't know if any book box can outdo this edition. It is by far some of the best customizations I've ever seen. Here's the end paper artwork, and it is signed by the author. The naked hardcover is gorgeous as well. I haven't read this yet, but I am excited to get to it, and I just really love it. Just kind of gives you that classic old-timey feel. I don't know. I'm just eating it up. And then my pre-order of the deluxe edition of Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue came in. Are you surprised that I have another Harley LaRue book? Because I'm not. The edges are beautiful. You can pick this up at any retailer. It's just beautiful, and I cannot wait to add it to my Harley LaRue shrine, as I'll say. The next one that I have is my Romantasy box from Fairy Loot for November. They're kind of trickling in, so probably the adult and YA will be in December that I unbox. But the theme is Hearts Ablaze, and this one is Fire in the Sky by Sophie Jordan. I really like the red and everything. It just seems so beautiful. You have the end paper artwork, and then it is signed by the author. The naked hardcover is some scales of a dragon, but then you have the reverse dust jacket. And I don't know which one I like more, but I think this is a beautiful addition. And it says, dragons are extinct, witches are outcast, but magic lives. I cannot wait to get into this book as well. And my Owl Crate for November box came in, and it is The Courting of Bristol Keats by Mary E. Pearson. I really love the colorway and everything on this special edition. I don't know why, but cottagecore is just one of my favorites. The end paper artwork is beautiful. The naked hardcover is green with gold. And then the reverse dust jacket, let me show you. I really like the art. I do. I need to give this a reread because I got an arc of it and I wasn't a fan. I felt like I didn't understand what was going on. So I am going to be doing a reread at the beginning of the year. And if during that reread I find that I don't like it, I am going to be selling this edition. But I want to give it another shot because I want to keep this copy so bad. And then my pre-order for the deluxe edition of Icebreaker by Hannah Grace came in. It's just one of those that you can get from any retailer. It's beautiful and everything. Again, it's another book that I haven't read yet, so we're seeing a trend here. My pre-order for a book that I did read, and I had an arc of it, which is book 2 in the Cloak of the Vampire series, and it's called Blood of the Gods by Sapper A. Englard. I highly recommend this series if you love vampires, if you love politics, if you love a good mystery. I'm telling you, this is so unique, and I am raving about this series, and book 2 just came out in November. The next few books I had gotten from Audio in Color. They were doing like a romance auction, shall we say. So I ended up getting books 1 through 6 by J.L. Beck. It's the Northwoods University. So books 1 through 3 are in a bind up, and it is signed by the author. And then books 4 through 6 are in a bind up as well, and it is also signed. I guess it says on the back, books 1 through 3 is The Bet, The Dare, The Secret. And then books 4 through 6 is The Vow, The Promise, and The Jog. I don't know if these follow different people. I don't know much about this series. I read about what the series was about, and I was like, sure, sign me up. I think it's a bully romance, dark academia, but we're gonna see. And then I ended up getting a little novella from Brittany C. Cherry and Candy Steiner, which is called A Love Letter, which is from the girls who feel everything. It is a poetry and prose type little novella, and it has just different little things in here. And I thought that was really neat. I can't wait to read it. I'm not a huge poetry person, but I really want to read this. I ended up getting like a little mass market paperback, and I don't know if I just got it on a whim or what, but it is Hate to Want You by Alicia Rye. It's Forbidden Hearts series. I don't know anything about it, but we're gonna just give it a try. I think it came with all of these books, but I don't remember winning an auction for it, so I'm not sure. And then the last one in that auction is from Candy Steiner, and it is The Blind Side. And this one is signed by Candy Steiner, but I really don't like how they packaged everything because it's like bent and not in good condition, which is fine. I don't need perfect copies. But if you're gonna put on an auction and everything, I think you should probably make sure that everything stays in pretty good condition. And the last books in this haul is from Bookish Box, my pre-order of the Daevabad trilogy. So you have City of Brass, and it's all by S.A. Chakraborty. This is beautiful. I haven't read it yet. City of Brass is on my fantasy bingo card, so I wanted to pick up this beautiful edition. It is signed. All 3 of them are signed by the author. You have the naked hardcover, but the reverse dust jacket. I don't know which way I want to showcase these. I'm telling you, some of the best customizations come from Bookish Box. And then you have book 2, which is Kingdom of Copper. And it has like different characters on the front of them, which I think is a great, way to show that, hey, this is an epic fantasy. And then you have the naked hardcover. And then you also have the reverse dust jacket. I really have heard so many good things about this series, and I really can't wait to get into it. And then you have the last one, which is called The Empire of Gold. This is a chunky boy, and it's really beautiful. All of them put together, just absolutely stunning. And then you have the naked hardcover, which then you also have the reverse dust jacket. I don't know which way I want to showcase them yet, but these are absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to get to them. Okay, you guys, those are all of the books that I acquired in November. Let me know in the comments below, are there any books in this stack that you're excited to read, or have you gotten any of these books out of book boxes? If you want to, you can leave me a little emoji if you don't want to comment, and leave me a dragon or a dragonfly emoji. I don't know if either one of them is on there, but something to signify dragons, even if you want to put some flames. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time. Bye!